become successful in life. But the question is, nobody defines success. What is being successful? So as a process of socialization, we think success is having a nice house, a nice job, a nice career, lots of money, name and fame. Those are some of the trappings or elements of success. What is success really about? Let me tell you something that happened a few years back when I was doing some corporate trading. This was a company that I was going for regularly for about more than 5-6 years. Every 3 months, I would be there in that company, stay there for a week. It was out of Bombay. And from every day would be a separate batch, starting with the senior most officer and ending with the junior most officer. So on the very first day, there was this young man sitting there, about 40-year-old, or even less, and vice president of the company, very successful in his career. So I asked him, how do you really feel successful at the end of the day? You've done very well in your career. That I've done well in my career, but there are so many more things I have to do. There are so many. So I asked him to think what you want to do 10 years, 15 years down the line. Where does he see himself? I left it at that for the time being. I said, next session, I will do that. On the last day, I was dealing with the junior officers. His executive assistant was there in the session. Now, executive assistant, a modern term now. Previously used to call him personal assistant or secretary or whatever. He was an older man. He had only 1 year for retirement. So I asked him, how's your life going to be? How do you feel your life is? Swamiji, I'm grateful to God. I've been very successful. So only a PA, the executive assistant, and he feels he's successful. So I asked him, yeah. They see, I had a pretty decent career. I come from a small village in South, not very educated. I just finished school, learned some typing, shorthand, etc., and started working. So for that, I have come well. I saved well. I have a good family. 2 of my sons, well educated, they have started working. They said, what do you plan to do after retirement? You are planning something. I said, no, I'm planning. I'm going to go back to my village. The youngsters there study English. They are not good in spoken English. They don't know how to handle an interview, etc. So I am going to help train them in these things. And I have a spiritual guru who loves me. I'll study from him as well. I'm very grateful to God. I'm very happy with it. Now look at this. This man is well sorted. He feels much more happy and successful than his own boss. His boss doesn't feel successful, he feels successful. His boss is on the chakra of name, fame, money, the next promotion, the next this, which is not a bad thing. If that is your focus, please do it. But very often, in the name of success, We are just trying to fulfill all the desires we have. And if you are expecting to be successful by fulfilling all your desires, you have lost the game before you started playing the game. Because nobody can fulfill every desire of theirs. No one can. Therefore, the Gita advises you to shift from being desire focused to being priority focused. It is called Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. One part of it, the first part of Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Now, what is that? Focus on the priorities of life. So, what is a priority? The need behind the desire. This guy has a desire. I want a job. Why do you want a job? Hey, I want to make some money. Oh, that's all. Oh, after all, I have to make a living. I need a job. I need to make money. I said, okay, very good. I'll tell you how you can make lots of money. Working 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day? Yep. You'll make 10,000 rupees, 5 to 10,000 rupees a day by working 4 hours a day. How does that sound? It sounds very good. Good. Open a vada pav stall at this junction in Jammu. You get lots of people coming there. A lot of officers, a lot of people coming there. You'll make easily 5 to 10,000 rupees a day. Just 4 hours in the evening. Be there. Ramji, I can't do that. Why not? You wanted money. 4 hours work. You're getting 10,000 bucks. 3 lakhs a month with just 4 hours work. That's great. Why? Ramji, there is no social standing. I done engineering. So say, call yourself engineer vada pav. Why not? Engineer vada pav. People come to us to see what is this engineering vada pav. So there's no social standing. What will my friends and all say about me? What will my family? Now look at it. It is not just a money he wants. He wants social standing as well. He wants to be respected in the society. The stated desire is job. What's behind that? Financial independence, social standing, respect of peers. Like this. You really examine your desires. You may have hundreds of desires. It'll boil down to half a dozen priorities. It is a priority in your life, that deep-seated priorities that express in your mind as desires. And we are focused on the desires. Another classical case. This guy is depressed. Why? His relationship with his girlfriend didn't work out. So he comes to me. Swamiji, I want to become like you. Are you starting a full-time course? I said, not yet. After some time. Come, attend the classes. So he starts attending. Devdas tells, grows a beard and everything. Then after some time, he sort of smartens up, clean shaven, etc. Then he starts disappearing from the class. Now, when a young man starts disappearing from the class, I know what it is about. It was the evening class. So one day he walks in with some envelopes in his hand. I'll say, champ, you are asking for a full-time course, right? Swamiji, that is true. But before that, I want to tell something. I said, what is that? I'm getting married next month. You must come and bless me for that. My first invitation is to you. Champ, you swore that you're never going to fall in love again. You swore that it is that girl or nobody else. What happened? It happened. It happened. Where the girl dropped into your lap from heavens or what? Natural. Every youngster is attracted to every person they meet. Why youngsters? Even older people are attracted to everyone they meet. Why? It is a desire, it is a priority of physical and emotional intimacy, emotional companionship. This is a hidden priority that expresses itself as attraction towards people. I'm talking about sexual or romantic attraction. That's a desire. 100 desires, one priority. Like this. If you focus on the priority, if one desire doesn't work out, it's okay. You can take it in your stride. Why? I'll work out through something else. I didn't get this job. That's okay. I can get another job. A lot of opportunities. I can become an entrepreneur. There are plenty of venture capitalists available with funding. So look at this. Every person has priorities in a few areas of their life, broad categories of their life. One, of course, is physical. Your health is important. So if your priority is health, what you will do? Find time for rest, nutrition, exercise. Now, what will you exercise in? Somebody may prefer badminton, somebody may prefer cricket, somebody may prefer to join a gym, somebody may want to do yoga, somebody may want to go for a walk, somebody may want to practice martial arts. Huge thing is available, pick one, that'll take care of it. Whereas if you're going by interest, I knew this girl who used to come to my class, said, I'm going by my interest, Swamiji. I said, yeah, what are you doing? I'm doing dance, I'm doing yoga, I'm doing martial arts, I go cycling, more active. Why? For health. Do you need all this food? Anyone will take care of it. So you can't say I don't have time because one is enough for your health. The physical will also include how big a house you want to live in. Your choice. Priority is what? You need a house to stay. You'll save to lock up and to convert it into a home. Fine. Similarly, you will have priorities of how much comfort you want. To live your life, you need some money. How much? I will quote Kabira on that. साई इतना दीजिए जिससे सुख सफाए. Lord, give me enough so that I'll be comfortable. Everyone says the same thing. And Kabir defines this. He says, हम तो भूखा ना रहे, साधु भी भूखा ना जाए. I won't remain hungry. And the good man who comes to my door, the sadhu, the monk who comes to my door, he will also not go hungry. That is his definition of what is enough. Somebody else may want a bungalow with a monk, two monks. Okay. Yeah. and a few 100 crores in the bank, which is fine. Each one decides, but the priority exists. How much you can decide? Priority exists. Emotional field. Minimum, a few friends. No, no. I want someone special in my life. Okay, good. No, just one person special. I need family, relatives, etc. Then you have to spend more time there. I need a child of my own. Okay, and a dog also. Fair enough. Complete. Each person decides what do you want. But priority is there. Emotional fulfillment is part of your priority. That emotional need is there. It's a priority. Intellectual. You want a doctorate degree? No, I don't want that. Or I want it. You decide. No, I'm enough in terms of if I learn enough for my job and keep growing in my job, I'm enough. Okay. Or you can say, I'm going to learn from every little thing in life. Life is a great teacher. Yes, it is. How much? Intellectual. You want to read? Or you think Google is God and enough? All successful people have read books regularly, even today's world. Spiritual priorities. On the spiritual area, what is your priority? It may start with simple stress management, to all the way to Vedanta knowledge of nirvana, of moksha. The priority exists. How much will be what each person decides, and through what ways you're going to fulfill it. If you have taken care of all your priorities, you're a successful person. I have met people like this, as I gave the example. I have met people who are much more financially and career-wise successful and have done the same thing. I hope all my students will do that. I trust all of them will do that. And I have met people who are financially very well off, but not feeling success. So how will I define success as? The one who can manage all your priorities is successful. In the light of Vedanta, you will say, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. If you can manage all the priorities in your life, you are successful. But the process can also bring its own stress and strain of life. Because now remember, you're not just functioning with your desires, you're functioning with your priority. If you're functioning with your priorities, it's very, very important to you. It's not saying, "Arey, just a desire. Mila to theek hai, nahi mila to theek hai." You can't say that. That's not what you're saying. It's important to you. And if it is important to you, failure is something that can cause a lot of anxiety. The very thought of failure, you can't accept. No, I don't want to fail. Nobody wants to fail anyway. So to make your life much more balanced, Vedanta also talks about karma yoga. And unfortunately, there is nothing called secular karma yoga. You need to have an understanding of Ishvara. Now, in the video that you of Puja Swamiji that you're going to play immediately afterwards, it's talking about Ishvara. I would have liked to play him first before me. But then you can't start a webinar with a recording. Okay. That's why we didn't put him before. I was allowed to put him before me. After all, he's my guru. So for the time being, let us take at Ishvara of your understanding. Ishvara that is manifested as the whole universe. So when I do an action, the results come from him. His laws create the result. And if anything is coming from the Lord, we take it in faith. We take it in good faith. Take it as a blessing. We call it prasadaha. So this attitude of accepting the good, the bad, the ugly, success or failure as prasadaha takes care of all my worry, anxiety, stress. That means if something goes wrong in your life, you have accepted it. And then what? How do I deal with it? What can I do about it? On one side, acceptance, on the other side, proactivity. One side, acceptance of situations and facts and the results. On the other side, you're proactively taking care of it. How can you not be successful? You're a force to reckon with in society. In your area of functioning, you're a force to reckon with. Because you're not wasting time cribbling, complaining, blaming, this, that. No, that's all. Accept. This is it. This situation, accept. And what should I do about it? What should I do? Yeah, and there are some things, sometimes you have to hold people accountable for it. Correct. You have to hold yourself accountable. Fine. But it's not blaming. It's just holding accountability. And deal with it. Deal with situation. Deal with what is there. Such a person can fulfill the priorities and become a successful person. The question is it enough? Many people will settle for this much. If I can do this, I'm fine with it. I had people telling me, especially people who have sat in my corporate work, Samji, this is enough for us. Itna milega to bahut ho gaya. Enough. So I'll say, after 10 years, we'll see. We'll talk about it after 10 years. I'm a very patient man. I give my students a long rope. But Swamiji, what will happen after 10 years? If it has not happened before, then what I'm going to talk about can happen before. It can happen as a teenager, like how it happened to me. What am I talking about? Let us talk about a successful person. Again, true examples. A few years ago, 10 years, I happened to run into this girl who was my classmate in college many, many years ago. She looked at me, hey, it is you. I said, yeah. We recognized each other, even though a lot of changes has happened. Come, let's have a coffee together. We have to catch up. I said, yeah, sure. I know, I heard you had become a monk. I never seen you. I said, yeah, we have not met for the last 30 years. Okay. So we sat, had a cup of coffee, caught up on so many things to catch up on. 30 years, a long time, a lot of things have happened in both our lives. So the end of it, the end, yes. Are you really happy with what you've done? Hey, couldn't be better. Yeah, you look happy and fulfilled. I am. Then naturally now I can ask the same question. So I said, not mentioning names. What about you? How do you feel? Well, I have a husband who loves me. We have a good relation. I have two kids and a dog. I run a small boutique. I drive a BMW. I have a nice house. That's it. I asked a simple question: are you happy? Are you fulfilled? She's telling me everything. See, look at it. Physical priorities taken care of, emotional priorities taken care of, intellectually she's good on. I went to her house also. There's a small puja corner. So that part is also taken care of. What is missing? I told her very gently. I said, there is something still missing, isn't it? What is missing? This is what is missing. Previously, for want of success, I felt I'm not fulfilled. After being successful, I still feel that if I'm self-awareful enough, in spite of being successful, we'll find that something is missing in our life. So generally, people hide it. Hide it by what? Another house, another car, holiday home. Next step, starting your own. Or nothing of that, sir. All the pictures of your ideal vacation on Facebook. Show the world how happy and fulfilled you are. Every week, put up some photos. Every week. With my children, with my husband, with my pet dog. Nothing wrong in doing all that. But what is it? What's your heart feeling? This is what I want you all to do. What are you feeling in your heart? Like this friend of mine, this classmate of mine, 30 years she has got, her life is made, but still heart is wanting. Arjuna said this in the Gita. Arjuna was a highly competent, successful person in life. He could walk into heaven anytime he wanted. With the strength of his arms, he could win any kingdom. He married. Much married also. So, what is this? A life of dharma. All that was done. Dharma was also followed. Ah, that's why they were in the forest. Otherwise, why will they be in the forest if they're not following dharma? The word they are given, they'll keep it. But he says in the Gita, forget this small kingdom, Hastinapura, Bharata Desha, Bharata Varsha. Small little kingdom, all said and done. Even Akhand Bharat is small. No? It's only one fourth of the whole world. Not one. He says, forget this kingdom. Make me the king of gods. My heart will still be empty. I will not feel fulfilled. Because Arjuna was already a successful person, Krishna doesn't bother to talk about that. He straight away talks about what will give you the sense of fulfillment. If gaining all these things have not given you fulfillment, then what will you normally try? Like how many of the rich all over the world are doing. Give away things. Be a philanthropist. Yeah, it will give you some sense of joy. Accept it. Some sense of joy will be there because you're a philanthropist and you are giving things to people. The joy of sharing will be there, but not enough. साला गधा, इनको इतना पैसा दिया फिर भी इज नॉट ग्रेटफुल, एक थैंक यू नहीं बोला. Or he just did a perfect thank you, that's it. He said he'll use it for this, but he used it for something else. Philanthropy, social work can be very frustrating. So, what will fulfill? Now, here comes the thing. In the vision of Vedanta, in the vision of Gita, in the vision of the Upanishads, all that goes by the name Vedanta, you're already a fulfilled being. You're already the limitless Atma. You are already fulfilled and free from all these psychological, emotional issues. And you experientially know this as well. Your experiences. It is not for want of experience. I'm walking on a road, wondering, मैं क्या करूँ अभी? मैं रास्ता पर जा रहा था, लेकिन भेलपुरी सब खा के अब I'm okay. And then look up to this, which stars are responsible for making me like this? That in spite of successful, I don't feel happy. I don't feel fulfilled. Previously in my life, for want of success, I was feeling unfulfilled. Now I have been successful, still I'm feeling unfulfilled. And I look up, Bhagwan, kya karoge? And I see there, beautiful crescent moon rising over that building top. Ah, so beautiful, so beautiful. At that moment, you are a completely fulfilled being. Similarly, you long to buy something, not available. You got it. Wow. That fulfillment of a desire, that moment, you feel fulfilled. That moment. After that, other things come back. You're stuck in a traffic jam in Bombay. I resigned yourself to it. क्या करोगे? My guru had said prasada. Okay, prasad. And in the neighboring car, I see this cute little kid making faces at me. A smile fills up my face and lights up my face and fills up my heart. How do you feel at that time? All of us have had moments of fulfillment, but it seems to come and go. It seems to come and go. In the vision of the Gita, this is your true nature. Of the Gita and the vision of the Upanishad, this is your true nature. Then why don't I feel it all the time? Because of self-ignorance. I don't know myself as a fulfilled being. And because I don't know myself as a fulfilled being, I have made a lot of self-judgments based on my body, based on what I have, based on the roles that I play, based on my mind, my emotional states, my knowledge. Based on all this, I have a lot of self-judgment. I don't know myself as I truly am. Anything that you say about yourself will be from a standpoint other than you. Someone comes to meet me, he said, "Oh, what do you do?" Because I want to know what the person is functioning as. I'm a doctor. I'm an engineer. I'm a lawyer. I'm a media specialist. Self-judgment based on work. I'm just a housewife, homemaker, not just a housewife. There's nothing like just a housewife. You're a homemaker. Based on what you do. All these are from the standpoints of the role that you play. I'm a mother. Jagan Mata hai kya? I think the mother to the whole world. What do your two kids say? All a judgment. Self-judgment based on what you do, the roles that you play. Who's the one that is filling up these roles? Who's that entity? I want to know that guy, that I. All the roles that you're aware of, you're taken on at some time in your life and you drop it. Swamiji, I don't drop the role of a mother. A big problem for your kids and others around you also. If you don't drop the role of a mother, what happens when you say young parents? You are young parents, okay, young and fit. Then I am a child. So what happened? Just in the presence, you became child. Until then, you are mama. Simple as that. You drop. When you're in front of your boss, you try to mama your boss also. He'll kick you out. Husbands, Indian husbands are like that. Okay, it can be a bit of a mama, but then that'll kill the romance in your relationship. Role picked on. Your body, all of you have heard this before. You're not your body. You're aware of the body. Body is an object of your awareness. You witness the body. Because you say, no, I had such a workout, my body is aches and pains today. Or I am tired. Both statements you use. I and mine cannot be the same. For the time being, I'll accept it as mine. You're aware of the body, you're not the body. Similarly, your mind, you're aware of your emotions. Yeah. Every emotion that you say, I am anxious, you know, you're objectifying that anxiety in your mind. That's why, and then confusing it for yourself and saying, I'm anxious. When you say, I'm a doctor, you objectified the knowledge that you gathered over the last 10 years, and you're saying, I'm a doctor. Self judgment. All this that you made your self judgment on is an object of your awareness. You're aware of every little thing. You have a subject object relationship with everything that you're taken as yourself. Then why do you take it as myself? Simple. If you don't know yourself, you will take what you're associated with as yourself. My old example works here. This very well known actor is playing the role on a stage. You got a chance to act on the stage, and that's considered ultimate acting, anyway, isn't it? You're on the stage. No retakes. Rehearsals are there, but no retakes. Live. And because he's a well known actor, he's being paid for it. Good money. And he's dressed as a beggar because the hero is a beggar. And he's supposed to go to this restaurant begging for something. And the bouncer there pushes him away. And he's supposed to fall down, get up, and break into a song. Typical Hindi film style. This time the bouncer pushed him. He a little too hard, got carried away. The guy fell down, banged his head on the ground. For a second, he was immobile. He got up, looking around. And the audience is thinking, kya acting hai? He looks so real. Second, he's got amnesia with that fall. Got a blow on the head, amnesia. Today will a song come out? Today no song will come out. Where am I? What am I? All fundamental questions are going in his mind. He looks at himself. I am dressed as a beggar. I must be a beggar. There's no more acting now. It is as though he has become a beggar. He's not a beggar. He's a rich actor. Popular, well-known, rich. Right now, because he's dressed as a beggar, he has assumed I must be a beggar. He's not happy with it. Exactly, none of us like to be slotted into a role. None of us are happy with it. To be limited by it. Because somewhere, we are more than this. Same way with this beggar. Beggar, the rich man, the actor. Self-judgment. We are all like that. The conscious being mistaken to be a beggar. He's a student of mine. He's no more. A very scholarly person. He used to say, to quote Kabir again, हाय इंसान के बद वक्ती, the bad lot of the insan. हाय अंदाज के बाहर, beyond all conceptions. Why? खुद खुदा होकर बंदा नजर आते हैं. You're the fulfilled being, but you're taking yourself as what? ये मालिक तेरे बंदे हो हम. You're taking yourself to be a beggar. You're taking yourself to be a finite guy, trying to echo out happiness from whatever little bit I get in the world. That's why the only question worth asking or answering in Vedanta is who am I? And you will end up with the fact you are nothing but pure consciousness. You are aware of time, you are aware of space. Time and space doesn't condition you. You see that? Let us look a little bit into what is time. What is this thing that we call time? Even looking at scientific definitions, time is nothing but a gap between two events. Olden days, two events were sunrise and sunset. Then you started refining it. Why? Because you needed finer measurements. Agrarian society, you didn't need that fine measurements. Sunrise, day started. Sunset, day ended. Then night time. Then you had before noon, afternoon. Then you had a concept of muhurta, 1 hour, roughly 1 hour. Well, a little bit here and there, it didn't matter. Even now, if you go to the villages, कल सुबह आ जाएगा. हाँ जी, कभी आएगा आप? वो नाश्ते के बाद आ जाएगा. Around 8:30 he'll be there. Roughly 8 o'clock he'll be there. You know that. But exact time. जरूरत exact का. But we are in a city, we need अरे 8:32 का लोकल पकड़ना है. So we need more measurements. So we kept dividing it until finally the sunrise sunset event, two events became two pulses of a quartz. Sophisticated measurements. All your quartz watches are like that. Even your smart watches are like that. Okay. Two pulses of a quartz. Two events. So the gap between two events. There is no event without an observer, even in science. So two events became two observations. The observation is by a conscious being. So two observations are two thoughts. So the gap between two thoughts is what we call time. So between two thoughts in my mind, what is there? I, the conscious being, is there. So when you look at me, the conscious being, through this flow called time, flow of thoughts, I get an entity called time. In fact, I get an illusion called time. Time is nothing but looking at yourself, the conscious being, through your observations, through your thoughts. How can my thoughts, which is born in me, the consciousness, dying down into me, the consciousness, affect me, the consciousness? My body is affected by time. I know. All this affected by time. Once upon a time, long back, this is all black. Maybe there's hardly any black. All white, not even gray. Affects. Your mind affected by time? Not really. There's no old mind. There are tired minds. There are unenthusiastic minds. Your self-judgment because of your experience has become too much for you. Therefore, you're tired, unenthusiastic. This guy is retired, he's feeling useless, tired. Kya karu abhi? Once upon a time, I was to do so many things. Give me a new project. Hey, the new project. Okay, fine. What happened to all that? Tired, gone, because now he's got something purposeful to do. All this I have tried out, okay? During my lane, there used to be a lot of retired people sitting and moaning and cribbing. So I got one of them to contact the local municipality and start an ALM, Advanced Local Area Management. My father was a part of the group. And you should have seen how enthusiastic they were in getting things done. Suddenly they had a purpose. No cribbing, no complaining, all aches and pains seems to disappear. Yeah, time doesn't affect your mind. How is it going to affect the consciousness that you have? It cannot limit the consciousness that you, the consciousness, unlimited by time. Anything not limited by time is not limited by space as well. So what are you? You are limitless consciousness. How is it connected with fulfillment? Once you know your limitless consciousness, nothing affects you. This limitless consciousness manifesting in your mind is what is called joy, fulfillment, ananda. This fulfillment is nothing but the consciousness manifesting in your mind. That is experience. When you know it, you're always fulfilled. Remember, I talked about desires, priorities. Behind 100 desires, half a dozen priorities. Behind that half a dozen priorities is what? One desire for moksha. One moksha ichha. Moksha is freedom from your sense of limitation. Wanting to be fulfilled. Isn't that what we do everything for? Why do you want that money and house and everything? That I feel fulfilled. Why do you want a partner, children, etc.? That I'll feel fulfilled. Why do you want to know more things? I'll feel fulfilled. Why do you want to become spiritual? I want to be fulfilled. God, for what? Swami Chinmayanji used to say, don't be a beggar at God's temple gate. Don't be a beggar there. Yeah. But seek to know the truth. Seek fulfillment. Seek to know the truth. Yeah. And this fulfilled being is yourself. And then look at life then. Once you have this you discovered yourself as this fulfilled being. You're successful, you're fulfilled. You're not successful, also you're fulfilled. You've gone beyond both success and failure. You fulfill your desires? Fine. Not fulfilled? Fine. You're always a fulfilled being. You're always ananda, joyful, fulfilled. You're going through a happy situation, you're attending a wedding, you're fulfilled. You're going through very challenging situations. Your company is closing down, you're still fulfilled. Now you have to manage something, what? Find a new job, this, that, whatever. You're fulfilled. As a fulfilled person, you're going into taking care of some practical things. You're fighting a battle, fulfilled being. You're spending time with your beloved, fulfilled being. You landed up in a city and hartal, band, no food available, hungry, fulfilled being, feeling hungry. You're at a feast, fulfilled being, enjoying the meal. All the way. You're getting into a marriage, fulfilled being. You're getting out of it, fulfilled being. You're a householder, fulfilled being. You're a sannyasi, fulfilled being. All the way. You're a bhakta, fulfilled being. You're a yogi, fulfilled being. You're a Vedanta acharya, naturally fulfilled being. All the way in your life. If you can meet with success and failure and treat those two imposters just the same, then you're a fulfilled being, not just a man. Fulfilled being. Without being a fulfilled being, you can't do that. You can take them in your stride. Therefore, what I talked about before as a karma yogi is taking it in your stride. Here, it doesn't matter anymore. You, depending on the role you're playing in society, you'll take care of things. You can't say, I'm a fulfilled being. Therefore, I will ignore my wife. Don't do that. You have to play that role and you'll play it well. I'm a fulfilled being, doesn't matter what my kids do. You'll take care of it well. You will do what is necessary. Happily, you'll do it. Why? You're a fulfilled being. No, because this topic was so important of being a fulfilled being. My batchmate, my Guru Bhai, is spending an entire talk on your Ananda today evening. Today evening is talking an entire thing on your Ananda. Because it's an important topic. Nothing is more important than this, really speaking. You can do a lot of things in your life. Everything that we do is to discover your fulfillment. And every one of us knew it as children. You ask a child, what do you want to be? Somewhere in his own language, he'll say, happy. Want to be happy. But if a child says, you ask a child and says, what do you want to be? Happy. That's correct. But what do you want to do to become happy? We are all brainwashed conditioned. We brainwash the child also. Because we do not know any way of finding some happiness without doing something. We don't know that. We associate fulfillment with doing. In the vision of Vedanta, you're already a fulfilled person. So it's about being. You are a fulfilled being. It's no more about doing, it's about being. So I'll just skip it. Being, sit in meditation. No, it doesn't work like that. The problem is based on self-ignorance. Therefore, the solution has to be self-knowledge. Vivekananda said it nicely. Uttishta jagrata prapya varan nibodhata. Uttishta, wake up, get up, awake. Be awake to this reality that what you're really seeking in life. Beyond success, beyond your priorities, what is there? Look into that. Awaken to it. Prapya varan. Approach the wise people. Nibodhata. Learn, understand what you really are. Tasmasa vijnanartham sa gurumeva abhigacche. Shrotriyam brahmanishta. We're talking in the Mundaka of a very successful person. Very successful. Mahashalaha, Mahachamasaha. So successful, he had huge house and family and retinue, would feed hundreds of people every day. Pure person. He goes to the Guru. Parikshalokan, he says. Parikshalokan. After having examined life, Nastya kritaha kriten. All this that I'm doing is not going to get me that fulfillment. Therefore, Sagurumaiva Vigachet. He goes to the Guru. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. One who knows the methodology of teaching well and who is rooted in the knowledge. Was to learn. To understand what? Who am I? That your limitless consciousness is only answer that will satisfy you. Any other answer is from a standpoint. Therefore, really speaking, there's only one question worth asking or answering in Vedanta. That is what? Who am I? Anything else is just nuances to make you understand this part of it. What is karma? What is this? Is there rebirth? Is there what? All that is just to make you understand this. That limitless consciousness yourself. That limitless consciousness that you talk about as Ishvara, from the standpoint of the totality, and as Jiva from the standpoint of your limited being, one and the same consciousness. That's all the understanding that is there. And then you're a fulfilled being. You always were a fulfilled being. It is not that after this knowledge, I'm fulfilled. After the knowledge, I discover myself that I always was a fulfilled being. I was chasing my own tail. So I have talked for about an hour. Okay. If there are any questions from anyone in the audience, please shoot.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you very much for another one of your absolutely enlightening speeches. And before we ask the audience for any questions, I would like to ask a question of my own. And that is, are there any important stroke necessary conditions for you to realize that you're fulfilled? What I'm asking is, do you have to go through, like you keep saying, you have to go through a certain life experiences before you start seeking this fulfillment that you are? Whereas we have, on the other hand, heard of some very young people also getting fulfilled very early on in life. So, is there a life cycle? Are there any benchmarks, any preconditions for you to seek out this fulfillment? And when do you seek out this fulfillment? Does it the circumstances force you to do it, or it just happens to you?
One definite thing is there. The Upanishad does lay down some qualifications. Okay. Now, what are the qualifications? It doesn't talk about how you get it. It only says you need to do this. This one main thing is to be self-aware enough to be aware of your dissatisfaction and to want freedom from that. This is called mumukshutva. The traditional thing, it is called mumukshu. Now, this can come from some of your own experiences, some from observation of the society. Even as a 18-year-old, you can know the job, money, relationship is not going to give you fulfillment. Why? I see characters around, they're not fulfilled. They have what all, they're not. So either you learn from your own experience or by watching other people. Some experiences you need, I accept that. Because you cannot be completely clueless and go into it. As someone said, you have to know what is it that you're giving up. If you're taking it up full time, I'm talking about. And it's always at teenage time that all these questions hit us. In that angst, the teenage angst, we do think what is life about, what is the purpose, etc. So it can start there, though they need to go through some experiences in life after that. But the Upanishad makes it clear. You need to have viveka, that the roles are not you, you're independent of that much. Now, most people develop that only after you come to Vedanta, but some insight is already there. Some amount of objectivity in their life to examine the world and themselves objectively. To know that all my desires fulfillment is not really going to happen. That much objectivity I need. Objectivity to say money will buy me things, it will not make me happy. Money will buy me comforts, not happiness. Money will buy me a house, it will not make a home out of it. Home requires loving heart and hands. So if I have some objectivity in my life, if I have managed to handle my mind a little bit, take care of my emotions, etc., to an extent, and not reactive, to have some sense of discipline, to have some sense of acceptance of situation and people, then Vedanta works very well. Vedanta works very, very well. And if you are living a life of karma yoga, etc., it works even better. But when I've seen youngsters in their 20s ready for it, I've seen people in their 80s not ready. So it is a question of how much have you learned from your life experiences. So if you have learned well, you're ready. Otherwise, next lifetime.
So, Swamiji, in this talk of yours, are you equating fulfillment to moksha? Are you saying that the moment, I mean, the feeling of fulfillment, the moment you feel fulfilled, you are closer to moksha, or you
In fact,
have
moksha is
higher
called
chances
fulfillment.
of.
Moksha is fulfillment. Moksha is what? Freedom from your sense of limitations. And that's exactly what I said. Fulfillment is freedom from your sense of limitations by knowing you're limitless. Yeah. In fact, I think somebody in 79 has asked a question saying that I'm waiting for the answer or something. My good friend asked me that you want to see yourself in the next 10 years in Jan 79. I'm still searching for an answer. I hope this talk has given you some answers. It's for you to decide where do you want to see yourself. And if you have been searching from 79 onwards, I think it will be advisable to sit down with a counselor or a teacher, preferably a guru, and discover where do you want to go. Because 79 is a long time ago.
A lot of you all have raised your hand. I saw a couple of raised hands. It would be better if you put the question into the Q&A box because we don't have the facility of letting you ask the question live. So, but I still saw a few raised hands when I saw the list of participants. So if you have a comment or a question to ask, please post it in the Q&A box. We still have another 5 minutes.
Yeah, I only see one question there. A 79-year-old asking,
No,
why do I see 5 years from?
I saw a few raised hands, so I've asked them to put their questions in the Q&A box. Hopefully it will appear in the Q&A box.
Couple of questions have come in now.
There is one question which says, how do I appreciate that consciousness, my true nature, is the basis for this world or stroke jagat? How do I appreciate that consciousness, my true nature, is the basis for this world or jagat?
Find a guru and learn from him. A live guru. The closest guru you have, wherever you are staying. Next bet, attend online classes. If you can't find a live guru. But even if it is online, like I do have online students, so many has online students, but they meet us for a camp, etc., at least once a year, twice a year. They do. So that's the only way. You can't do that by yourself. You need to have a teacher. I know I needed it, and I know my guru needed it. And I see a lot of gurus also requiring it. Therefore, find a guru, because gurus also have gurus. And then the next question that came up there was, how do I find a guru? Do I find a guru? Very interesting question. We all had it when we were young, when we are started the search. And we don't know enough. We don't know enough when you go guru hunting to see what will work and who's the right guru. Because it's such a topic. So finding a good guru is like finding a good doctor. How do you know who's a good doctor? So Shankara answering this question in Vivekachudamani, he says, Durlabham treme vetat. Three things are very difficult to understand. What is that? Manushyatvam, a human birth. Mumukshutvam, discerning that I have a problem of moksha, that I want freedom from a sense of limitation. I want to find that fulfillment. And the third thing is finding a guru. Mahapurusha Samashraya is taking refuge of a teacher. Deva Anugraha Hetukam comes only by the grace of God. I've been lucky. I got a great guru by the grace of God. But you can look at certain things. Look for someone who is teaching the scriptures, the Upanishads, the Gita, etc. Not somebody who's saying it, this is all out of my own experience. Because if he's teaching something out of his own experience, that may be valid for him, but not for you. Yes, if the Guru says, yes, what I am teaching, the Upanishads, Gita, etc., I have validated it in my own experience, that's fair enough. That's okay. I have validated it in my life, that's great. He is the Guru for. Otherwise, you have to leave it, look around, listen to many people, see what gels with you. But I would say, is he teaching? See a traditional teacher. Not necessarily whether he has got big namam or something like that, or huge Rudraksha, is around business. But is he teaching the Upanishads and the Gita in a traditional manner? If he's doing that, chances are good he's a teacher for you. Any other questions, Suresh?
It says one barrier to fulfillment Is kama, krodha, matsarya, how to control these negative feelings?
One is the life of Karma Yoga in a nutshell. Second, deal with each of them, handle emotions. In fact, how to handle emotions, you can go to my website, vedicwisdom.in, not Vedic Wisdom Festival, vedicwisdom.in, and look at the workshop section. There are some descriptions of how to handle your emotions, whatever they are. Look into that. If you need more help, sit down with the teacher, sit down with the therapist, deal with that, a counselor, and deal with that.
Thank you. Thank you, Swamiji. Um, as usual, your talk was absolutely engaging. I have probably heard this talk many times before through various in various forums, but every time I listen to it, I think there is something new to pick up. And I loved the way you drew the line between success and fulfillment. And how we very often, while the hullabaloo of daily life, forget that there is not a thin line, but a very thick line between success and fulfillment. And it's for all of us to see, and for some of us to recognize, and even fewer than those to actually discover. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for a fabulous talk.
Pleasure to be here.